You wake up on a concrete floor with a taste like copper in your mouth and a number burning behind your eyes. 6 hours. You don't know how you know it. Maybe it was the last thing the doctor said before they put you under. Maybe it's the slow cold spreading from the needle mark on your arm. The poison is already in you, a clean, untraceable thing with no antidote, designed by the same people who built you. In 6 hours, your heart simply stops. No pain. No evidence. Just a man who died of natural causes in a city he was never in. They didn't do this to kill you. They did this to guarantee you'd finish the job. Because the mission can't fail. And a dead man can't be captured, can't talk, can't be turned. They've made you the perfect weapon, completely committed because you have nothing left to lose and no time left to lose it, and no time left to lose it in. You sit up, you check the window. Dawn is bleeding over a skyline you half recognize. 6 hours to do the impossible. And then it won't matter anymore. There's an envelope taped under the sink. Your hands are already shaking. The first symptom, as you tear it open. Inside, a photograph, an address, and a single line of text. Stop the handoff. €12, no exceptions. You understand instantly because this is what you do. Somewhere in this city, in 6 hours, a man is going to hand a device to a buyer. The device doesn't matter. A weapon, a list of names, a key to something that kills thousands. What matters is that once the handoff happens, it's gone. Untraceable. Unstoppable. And the people who built you decided the only way to be sure it never happens is to send someone who cannot turn back. That someone is you. You don't have a team. A team can be compromised. You don't have backup. Backup can be traced. You have a face no one remembers, a poison no one can stop, and a clock that doesn't negotiate. You memorize the photograph and burn it in the sink. You memorize the address. You stand, steady yourself against a wave of dizziness, and walk out into the morning like a man with somewhere to be. You do. You have 6 hours to be there. You can't take a taxi. There's a camera and a record. You can't use a phone in your name. You don't have a name anymore. You move the way they trained you. On foot. In the crowd. Gray and forgettable. Just another tired man in a tired city. But something's wrong. 3 blocks in, you spot it. A man who turns when you turn. A car that's circled twice. They're watching the watcher. The other side knows someone is coming, and they're hunting you before you can hunt them. This is the first cut in the time you have. Every minute you spend losing a tail is a minute the poison spends in your blood. You feel it now, a flutter in your chest, a numbness in 2 fingers. You duck into a market. 3 floors, 1 exit through the loading dock, a coat left on a rack, and a different one taken, not stolen, swapped so no one reports it. You walk out a different man through a different door, and the tail is standing on a corner waiting for a ghost who's already gone. But you've learned something. They know about the handoff. They're protecting it, which means getting close just got far harder, and your 6 hours just got shorter. You check a clock in a shop window. 5 hours, and the shaking is getting worse. You can't do this alone, and you know it. So you go to the one person in the city who owes you, a man you saved years ago, on a mission neither of you can ever mention. He runs a phone shop. He goes pale the second you walk in, because he can see it on you. The sweat, the tremor, the look of a man on a timer. He knows what you are. He's never seen you scared before. You don't threaten him. You don't have to. You just ask. One favor. The last one. Then we're even forever. He tells you what he knows. The handoff isn't happening at the address on your sheet. That's the decoy. The real exchange is somewhere else. Somewhere he's heard whispered. A private room above a restaurant. Guarded, sealed at noon exactly. He gives you the location. He gives you a way in through the kitchen. Then he asks the question you knew was coming. What happens to you after? You look at him for a long second. You think about telling the truth, that there is no after, that in a few hours you'll be a body in a stairwell somewhere. Instead you smile, the way you've smiled at 100 sources in a dozen countries, and you lie one last time. I'll be fine. He doesn't believe you, but he lets you go. 4 hours becomes 3. The restaurant is exactly as he described. 2 guards at the front, cameras on the street, a delivery entrance in the back alley where a man in a kitchen uniform won't be looked at twice. This is where the years pay off. You've broken into harder places than this with a full team and a week to prepare. Now you have one body that's slowly failing and a borrowed apron. You wait for the lunch delivery and walk in behind it carrying a crate like you've done it 1,000 times. The kitchen is chaos, steam, shouting. Nobody watching the new face. You set the crate down. You find the service stairs. You climb. Halfway up, the poison takes a real bite. Your vision tunnels. Your knees buckle. You sit down hard on a step and grip the rail and breathe through it, counting the way they taught you to push through pain. Not yet. Not yet. The job first. It passes. You stand. You keep climbing. At the top of the stairs is a door, and behind that door is the only thing in the world that still matters. A handoff at noon, and the man who has to be stopped. You check your reflection in a dark window. Gray, calm, forgettable. A dying man who looks like nothing at all. 2 hours left. You don't kick the door down. That's not the job. The job is to stop the handoff without it ever being known. A handoff was stopped, so you do the hardest thing of all. You walk in like you belong. There are 4 men in the room. The seller. The buyer. 2 guards. And on the table between them, a small case that's worth more lives than everyone in the city combined. You've become someone on the way up the stairs. A fixer, a middleman, a name they half recognize because you spend years making sure names like yours float around in exactly these circles. You speak the right language. You drop the right reference. You create 3 seconds of confusion. Who is this man and who sent him? 3 seconds is all you've ever needed. In those seconds, you do the quiet, invisible work. You spent your whole career learning how to make a deal collapse from the inside. A word that makes the buyer doubt the seller. A glance that makes the seller think he's being set up. You don't fight them. You turn them against each other, the way you've turned strangers your whole life. The deal cracks. The trust evaporates. The buyer stands, furious, certain he's walking into a trap. The seller grabs the case to protect it. The handoff, the thing that absolutely could not be allowed to happen, doesn't happen. And in the confusion, you're already gone. The case no longer the point. The point was the handoff. The handoff is dead. So, soon, are you. You make it 3 blocks before your body starts giving up for real. You sit down on a bench in a small park because your legs won't carry you anymore. The city moves around you. Kids on their way home. A couple arguing softly. An old man feeding pigeons. None of them know. None of them will ever know that the reason they're all still alive tomorrow is the man dying quietly on the bench. You think about the things everyone in your work thinks about at the end. The wife who left because you were never really there. The kid who knows you as the man who missed his birthdays. The friends you weren't allowed to keep. The names you gave up the chain, the faces you can't forget, the languages you dream in now instead of your own. You think about the phone shop man, and you hope he never finds out the truth. You take out a small, untraceable phone, the one piece of equipment they let you keep. You type 4 words to a number that bounces through 6 countries before anyone reads it. Handoff stopped. It's done. You don't sign it. There's no name to sign. You set the phone on the bench. You close your eyes. The poison was never the cruelty. The cruelty was that they were right. A man with nothing left to lose and no time to lose it finishes the job every single time, 40 minutes. But here's the thing they didn't count on. You weren't only trained to follow orders. You were trained to think, to read a room, to question a brief, to notice when something doesn't fit. And something hasn't fit all day. Why poison a man who's already this loyal? Why guarantee a death for a mission you could have sent anyone on, unless the mission wasn't the real mission? Unless you were the loose end, a ghost who knew too much, sent to clean up one last problem and then conveniently stop breathing in a foreign stairwell. You realize it on the bench, in the last clear minutes. They didn't send you to stop a handoff. They sent you to disappear, and gave you a job to make you go willingly, so you'd already made your own plan. The phone shop man didn't just give you a location. He gave you something else, too. And the message you just sent didn't only go to the people who built you. It went somewhere else. To a journalist, to a name, to a record that, for the first time in your life, can't be erased. If they wanted you to vanish without a trace, you've made sure of one thing. There will be a trace. The old man feeding pigeons glances over at the still figure on the bench and assumes he's asleep. He'll call someone in a while. They'll find no ID, no phone of interest, no story. Just a gray, forgettable man who died of natural causes in a city he was never in. The official record will say nothing, because there's nothing to say. The people who built you will close the file they were always going to close. But 2,000 miles away, an envelope arrives at a desk it was never supposed to reach. Inside is everything. The program, the poison, the names. The one thing they were certain a dead man could never do. You did with your last hour, you told the truth. Somewhere a man with a soft handshake and a forgettable face is already looking for your replacement. A soldier who scored too high. An officer who survived something that should have killed them. Someone with nothing left to lose. He'll find them. He always does. And the cycle begins again, except this time, somewhere in a sealed file that won't stay sealed, your name exists. For the first time in years, you didn't disappear.